Hello, beautiful people. How are you all? Happy to see you live again. If we never met before, and if that's your first time you see my video, my name is Natalia. I am an inner mastery and consciousness mentor. And today I felt to come live to talk about a very important subject that is relevant for so many entrepreneurs and leaders that I see coming up very often with my clients, and I know that it's something that I worked through myself when I was working, doing my inner work, and was growing in consciousness. So I happened recently to have a conversation with someone who is quite senior in the largest investment bank, and this person left already the job, but when he recalls the time at the bank, he says that he was always running like a hamster in the wheel. That means that there was always the drive to achieve, and work more and do longer hours. And apparently, that is something that is still encouraged. And I remember myself when I was in a law firm in the city of London. That was the environment that was cultivating people to rise to that imaginary standard. So as a result, people did not see their families. They were stressed. They were burned out. They were overworked, and it was normal. Now, an interesting thing that I mentioned, that why wouldn't why wouldn't the reality of what is happening be widely known? And the answer was is that, well, apparently it would not be supported by the company, because if leaders at the top, they may be aware of a deeper inner inner and spiritual dimension, they don't want people who are in the middle or below the um, the corporate ladder to know that, because they want to keep people running as hamsters. They want to keep people busy. They want to keep people doing more hours, spending more time at work, and being at work over the weekend, and just deliver and deliver and deliver. And that is something that completely amazed me, because I know that some of you may be still in the corporate environment where there is this is the culture, and I know that many of you have left this type of environment and are entrepreneurs. And what I notice with entrepreneurs, although they leave this type of environment, they take with them this approach, this conditioning, that the need for achieving. Now, and I want to talk to you about this need of achieving versus the other way of operating, which is much more natural and much more organic to you. Now, the need to achieve, the root of the need to achieve, comes from deep rooted fear of inadequacy, of simply being yourself. Now, Stop for a moment and take that in. Don't try to dispute what I'm saying. Don't try to rationalize that. Your egoic identity by itself is inadequate because it's unreal. It does not have any reality on its own. It's completely um, it's completely unreal entity based on your past memory, based on your emotions, based on your thoughts, and based on your past events, which is memory. Now, that identity in itself is inadequate. And that's why it needs to achieve things in the world to feel good about itself, to gratify itself. And I'm so great, I have this big important position, or I made X amount of money, and I'm now um, on the cover of Forbes magazine. So the predominant environment of our living world is based on this need of achieving, a need of proving yourself. Now, that need is unreal, it's made up. And if you look at yourself and just think, not even think, but just contemplate for a moment, why do I need to achieve? From where is the need coming from? And that's very important that you do that to have some reality check for you, whether you are coming from the right place or not. Now, what happens with the need to achieve? Now, the need to achieve, because it's based on the fear of simply being just as you are, it drives you into unnatural expressions. And what I mean by unnatural expressions, I mean that you're pushing. That's when you are pushing, when you are trying hard, when you are getting stressed, when you are getting anxious, when you are getting burned out. That is an unnatural way of operating, because your activity should not leave you stressed, should not leave you burned out, and should not leave you anxious. If you find yourself stressed, burned out, and anxious, don't listen to all these smart people who is telling you that you need to um, adjust your nervous system, or do meditation. It's all helpful, but it's not gonna sort the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is that you are not being in your essence. You are not being yourself. That is the root of the problem. And if that shifts, you will see that you will operate in a totally different way. Now, what is this totally different way of operating? When you come from your essence, there is no need for achievement for you whatsoever, because you are complete and fulfilled within yourself. Now, you may ask, well, if there is no need for achievement, how actually I'm gonna do things in the world? Should I just simply sit and do nothing? Well, maybe, but that's not what I'm suggesting to you. What I'm saying is that you allow your essence to express itself through activity naturally, in a natural way. That means is that you don't need to overthink what you are going to do and how you are going to do. You don't need to strive. You don't need to stress about things. You don't need to be anxious about things. The action happens naturally. Yeah, it's a very natural, smooth operating or acting. So, if there is no need for you to do anything, you can just simply sit still. If there is a need for an action, the energy will rise in you and you will perform action as and when needed. It's a very efficient way to be. And if you are a leader, an entrepreneur, and you want to make sure that you are coming from the right place, you're coming from your essence, you need to see, to check the way of your activity, whether they are, first of all, coming from the true place, from your essence, and whether there is ease and flow. These are two main characteristics how you can see whether you are actually being in your essence or you are being in your egoic personal identity that still has a need to achieve. Yeah, so the ease and flow. Now another thing that you can see if you are coming from your essence or not is the spaciousness. There is no time constraint. There is no pressure on you. You are spacious and you create a spacious environment for yourself. Now, that would mean for some of you to review your busyness because most of the times you do things that you do not need to do. So, if you would step back and come from your essence, you would only do the things that are needed in the moment. Because every moment requires specific action from you. If it requires action, or it may not require any action from you, then you'll just sit quietly and peacefully and don't do anything. So, in this way, when you are coming from the essence, you're not driven by the need to achieve. Achievement can happen and will happen, but you are not really running after them. Yeah, it's not something that is outside from you. You need to understand that everything that you want is already within you, which means that you do not need to run after some specific goal. You just need to do actions which are coming from your essence, and these actions will inevitably lead you to that which is meant for you in any case. But you will do it with ease. You will do it with flow. You will do it with spaciousness. You will do it with grace. And of course, you save yourself your precious health because the body suffers a lot from your when you are in that tight achieving mode. No, that is not an intelligent way of operating. So that's what I'm teaching all my clients to shift into the essence, the natural way, the higher intelligence, the way of higher intelligence where you know what you need to do, you know when you need to do that, and you know how to you need to do that, and you're just doing that naturally with ease, grace, flow, and spaciousness. And I invite all of you to look deeper into yourself and find that dimension of your essence, and not only find, because finding is the first the first step, and actually embodying that dimension and operating from that dimension in your daily life, and especially in your business or in the leadership role, wherever you are, because that is something that will resonate to people around you, because that is a powerful resonance that you transmit by simply being yourself, by being in your presence and operating from that essence that you are. That would be transmitted to all your environment. And I invite you to take the journey with me, the transformational journey, 5 months complete immersion into your essence. So we will work on embodying that dimension of ourselves and integrating that in your daily life, in your relationships, in your business, in your self-expression, in anything that you do. And I know that how important this work is, and I know how it changes everything, because that is the only thing that can entirely change your life, yourself within, and all areas of your life. So I invite you to take this transformational journey inside the program, which is called the NECTAR. And it's called the NECTAR because it represents that dimension of yourself, that flowering, that higher possibility of yourself. So we are going to work on activating the wisdom of self-knowledge. We are going to work on activating your inner power, and you have no idea how much power you actually have. It's and you are not using that power in your life, and we will discover, will activate that latent energy and consolidate the energy, your energy, so you are one whole and total presence. And we are going to work on the dimension of inner wealth, that is cultivating the state of prosperity within, and of course up-leveling our outer life according to our highest destiny. So I invite you to join this program. You can send me a message for more details. I would love to meet you. If you have any questions, just please let me know, and I look forward to meeting you. And if you're someone who wants to work one-to-one, I have a few places available for uh, for leaders and entrepreneurs who are serious in their up leveling or and rising in consciousness and elevating their inner state and entire life. So we that is for someone who is ready for deep inner work with potent impact and transformative power, because that's what I do. I'm here as a vehicle from the source, and whoever source decides to transform that's that's their destiny. Thank you so much for being live with me. I see. Oh, George is here live with me. Thank you so much, George, for joining live. And thank you so much to those who will be watching in replay. I hope this video gave you some clues as to achievement and the way you act in the world, so you could start paying attention and start being more consciousness in the way you operate and run your business or do whatever you do in the world. If you are watching this in replay, please hashtag replay. Let me know that you watched it. I would love to see your comments. I would love to see your questions or anything that comes up for you. Thank you so much, and I see you soon.